Hello and welcome to Alex Cooks, one of the premium cooking shows of YouTube. What are we cooking today? Well, we shall be cooking some vegetarian spaghetti bolognese. Now, in my family, we have quite a peculiar name for spaghetti bolognese, and that name is Betty's Hot Pot. Now, the reason why we call it Betty's Hot Pot is at one time, and there's about 9 or 10 or 11, I once compared the flavour of this spaghetti bolognese, this vegetarian spaghetti bolognese, because I found it that delicious, I compared it to the legendary flavour of Betty's Hot Pot from Coronation Street. That's right, Betty McDonald, I think her last name was. Okay, maybe not. The person behind the camera is cracking up right now. I'll just call her Betty, who's like related to Steve, I think. No, not related to Steve at all. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we just named it after that. The name stuck, and it's been called Betty's Hot Pot in this family ever since. Now, let's get to the ingredients. Alrighty, so here we are. The ingredients, the building blocks of cooking. Now, and this recipe is intended to serve 4, although if you are that big of an eater, you can serve yourself with all of this. I won't recommend it. Now, to serve 4 people, you will need 300 grams of spaghetti, 1 onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 450 milliliters of vegetable stock, using an OXO, by the way. Sponsor me! A tablespoon of tomato puree. Yes, indeedy. 1 singular tin of chopped tomatoes. Yes. 170 grams of red lentils. I've never used red lentils before. It's actually quite a surprise I haven't done this, because they're quite widely used, I believe. Anyway, regardless, 2 large carrots, and 2 sticks of celery. Yes, very good. This is what we are going to use to put together a simply amazing spaghetti dish. Now, let's get going! So first off, we cut the carrots into small pieces. Okay, so we've now cut the carrots into many tiny little pieces. And now we shall move on to cutting this here celery. Okay, now I've cut the celery. Now your next step is to cut the onion. Okay, now I've sliced up my onion. Now I proceed to crush the garlic. Oh, there, we lost it there. Crush the garlic. There we go. Nothing left in there, ladies and gents. Garlic clove number 2. And last one, garlic clove number 3. Okay, so now what we're doing is that we're now going to prepare the pan to cook the food in. So we're going to pour in roughly 1 tablespoon of olive oil. There we go. Now we're going to take this olive oil pan and we're going to put it onto the heat. Someone better watch out for Popeye, y'all, I have to say. Once that oil is hot, we shall be adding the onions and garlic and letting them fry for about 1 minute. Don't drop your onions or make them fly. Just fry them for a good 1 minute. So We're also now going to add the carrot and celery to the pan and allow them to cook for a further 1 to 5 minutes. Okay, what I should have said is that we are going to cook this for 5 minutes, not 5 minutes. Until it is nice and soft, as the omniscient voice will say. Okay, so these lentils have been rinsed under water for 1 minute. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to add this here kettle full of boiling water to the vegetable stock. The camera person shall tell me when to cease.
A pint.
Well, 1 pint actually. That's surprising. Never usually do a pint, but there you go. There you go. Now I'm just going to go stir it in. A little bit of boiling water there. Just going to go stir it in like a witch's cauldron. Oh yes. Okay, so now that they have been cooking for 5 minutes, our next step now is to add in first the lentils, and then we shall move on to the vegetable stock, the tomatoes, and tomato puree. We'll also be adding salt and pepper, which I failed to mention before. My apologies. First, the lentils. There we go. We'll like mix this in, imbibe it nice and properly. And then what we're going to do, well, now I'm going to proceed with the stock. We're just going to just lump them all in right away. Nice and gentle. Remember, this is a jug full of boiling water with a bit of vegetable flavouring. It's actually quite a refreshing broth if you're in a bit of a hurry. There we go. Now, our that was kind of hot spoon. Now I'm just going to add in these chopped tomatoes. Be careful because of the splash back. Oh crumbs, okay, we actually almost got all of the good stuff out, and there we go. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to add in approximately 1 tablespoon of tomato puree. We're doing this quite continuously, I know, but there. Okay, there we go, our tablespoon. And last thing, but not least, before we begin and commence the stirring, is the pepper and the salt. You really gotta love it, that sound it makes when like you... There we go, when like the pepper grinder's going. Now, we're gonna start mixing this up, and the evil hubbub is in the air. Oh no. Okay, now it's all been mixed in and incorporated. What we shall now do is put this here lid on, and we shall now leave this to bring it to the boil and let it simmer for the next 20 minutes. Don't forget to stir it occasionally to prevent burns. Alright, so now the main pasta sauce has been cooking for about the past 10 minutes. Now, what we are going to do now is that we're going to start cooking the spaghetti, because that does take around 10 minutes, so it should be finished in time for this. Now, because I have a few difficulties here and there, I've decided to break the spaghetti in half so that it will fit easier into the pan. So I'm just going to go pour it in nice and... Now we just pour it in nice and gentle like. It almost looks like some edible plunk. I'm just going to go stir it in. Make sure it don't burn like a... There. Now we're just going to let this cook for the next 10 minutes. Okay, so 20 minutes have now passed. Well, actually it's been 10 minutes from the last point. Well, you can see that the pasta sauce has now gotten a lot thicker from all the cooking process it's been through. Meanwhile, the spaghetti has also become very wavy, quite wavy, almost like kelp in a way.
So let's dish it up.
Let's go and serve it up, as the voice behind the camera would say. Okay, now our spaghetti is now served. Here it is. I decided to add a bit of cheese for a bit of extra flavour. And also you have noticed that the sauce does look a bit different. That's because I've actually blended it, because I do prefer the more uniform and smooth texture that such serving provides.
But everyone else has it.
But everyone else can have it chunky, you know, as the voice behind the camera is going to say. Let's just troll a bit round me. Okay, that is disastered. Let's just eat a bit. Well, tastes fantastic as usual, it does. I think that's all I've got to say right now. I mean, it's the end of the video, so if you like this, do be sure to like this video and subscribe to it. And also share this on your Facebook and Twitter. And also follow my Instagram for some wonderful shots of this food. I'll see you in the next video.